What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another podcast here, Sales Guys Unlimited Sales Growth. Fred here alongside
Kevin.
and here again a week later to bring you guys some new content. As always, you guys could give us any questions or anything. You could email us at salesguys.unlimited@gmail.com.
Yep.
And then follow our Instagram page at salesguys_unlimited growth. Obviously, we have a couple updates there daily about when the episodes are going to drop. And really like to maybe see some more questions, so please email us any things you're running into out in the field, any maybe specific scenarios that you're having trouble closing sales. We're going to continue to dive in just some things, even like weekly that we run into. I'm sure every salesperson kind of run into similar situations during the week. This week, and then again in the coming weeks, we're going to dive into some presentation stuff, how we really present our products and how important it is, to do that and really deliver what we call the masterful presentation in the home. So
Exactly.
I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
We're always looking for topics to really play on and really take the cues from you guys or gals, whichever you're looking to overcome any objections or any pitfalls you're having or consistent issues that you're coming across, whether it be customer related, your own personal process related. Feel free to email to us. We'd love that as a show topic in the future, and we'll definitely respond back to any questions or concerns that you have. That's pretty much it. Ready to get going.
Yeah. So again, best way to handle an objection is to never handle an objection. Really ignore it. Any scenario that comes up. Because most objections are reactionary. Customer, for reference,
Defense mechanism almost.
Well, yeah, you think about that. You walk into a department store, maybe TV, something like that. Associate walks up to you and says, "You need any help?" And you always say, "No,
I'm good. I'm good."
It's reactionary.
Sure.
So most objections are really fake. It's just a reaction.
Okay.
From a customer. So we really have to determine what's real and what's fake if we're delivering a masterful presentation and really tying down everything through the process.
Fred, in your experience, what would you say, could you attempt to decipher what you would say was a real objection and a reactionary objection that you might feel is just because they're under that sort of undue pressure, it's sitting at a table?
Well, I think anytime you deliver a statement rather than either asking a customer a question or open-ended question or an unfinished question. So any statement you make, a customer is really going to depend as either no or we're gonna put the windows in. And you're like, I'm not not ready yet. Or make a decision. It's so when you're delivering, I'd say more statements. I don't know if there's necessarily. I think the objections later on in terms of I have to think over. Okay. So that's really I think where you find what the really real objection or real underlining thing is of why maybe they're not buying today. I feel the other ones are like as you're making statements along, they might become defensive if it's like well we have a sale and they're like I'm not ready to buy that. So it's, again you're making a statement and they're saying okay well now they're becoming defensive and reactionary to it. So we were talking before about unfinished questions or where the customer's answering the question.
Right.
So say it's not a matter of if you're going to do with the roof. It's a matter of
and then,
when, and then let them finish. And as you're really talking and flowing naturally, again you'll really become very fluent with it.
Okay.
Through the delivery, everything we talk about, practice, define your skills, define your craft. If you had to be in a car with somebody that didn't know how to think about how to drive, you wouldn't want to drive with them.
For sure.
You think about when you're in the car. If I had to, step on the gas, now I have to put the turn signal on. Right. Stop at the red light. Go. Every day when you drive, it's just because you've done it so many times.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you want your sales to be the same way. So making sure through your delivery, again, you're not making statements to the customer. You're really bringing them along through the process and tying everything in. Can't isn't it?
Yes.
Aren't you? So different. Those are really key words through the process.
Right.
So checking the box as you're going along.
Yep.
And again, if somebody says, "Well, I'm not ready," no problem. Just keep going.
Sure.
Or I'm not buying today. No problem. Again, you just keep going.
Sure.
Because if once you handle the objection, then now you have fight versus flight again.
Yes.
Now it's
yes.
now you're the bull by the horns. So,
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm not buying. Then you're getting back and forth and banter. Then it's like, I didn't say. You had to buy today, and they're like, well, we're just
Right.
getting price.
Yeah.
Now you just
Sure.
opened up Pandora's box, and you might as well just you're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, I'm not buying it. No problem.
Right.
Just but just just to ask you another question about the fence. You continue to the next thing.
Right.
So that's one of the really I feel keys. Again, never handle the objection. At the end, when you're trying to close, then you're trying to overcome maybe whichever obstacle it is at that point. We want to try to narrow down money.
Yes.
So as salespeople, people don't want to buy; they want to be sold. And in order to get them to want to, buy, we have to create the want.
Yes.
When we create the want, we have to create the need. The need is really the masterful presentation.
Right.
When you're doing that window demo, you feel those features, and see how nice those locks are, and having them really operate the window,
Yes.
the features.
Yeah.
They want it.
I mean, we shouldn't take it as any, common ground that you better be providing a sample of some sort, whatever product or service you're providing. You got to have some background and some way to verify exactly what you're doing, because people want to touch, feel, see. It's exactly why they have samples at locations, or showrooms with displays, chairs that you can sit in. You're not going to go into a furniture store and say, oh yeah, just trust me, the couch is really comfortable. It's microfiber, et cetera, et cetera. No, I want you to go see it, feel it, have a seat in it, and
Yep.
do that.
Yeah. Exactly. They actually, through some surveys, companies, they say like almost 60 to 70% of the sales force going in a lot of times without samples, or just going in without pictures, and
That's alarming.
yeah, and a lot of them are just order taking. And they're not really going through. A funny story I heard. Pool company. Customer called the pool company, wanted a quote on a pool.
Yeah.
And the guy got on the phone. Basically says, to the guy, well, our pools are very, expensive. And you're an hour and a half away, drive from me, so I want to make sure that I'm not going to drive out there and waste my time.
Wow.
So he said,
Wow.
started going through, and then he was like, our pool's at $30,000. So anytime you give a price before you, create the want or the need or the value,
Sure.
Sure, everybody, blind squirrel eventually finds a nut, as well too.
Sure.
And it's really out there in the industry. It's, crazy, but that's why, the top, 5%, make 80% of the money, or 10%, whatever analogy you want to use, because the guys that really hone their skills and practice. So, as we talk constantly, just things we run into on a weekly basis. Those are some of the things. One thing like this week, and that I've been working on is, customer. If you have the situation, where you really feel everything went well in the home.
Okay.
The price, like they love the company, they love everything to buy in, and they're like, still, we just need a couple of days, to think about it or think it over.
Right.
There's a way to address that in a, respectful manner, but also, giving them the decision. Whereas, John, Mary, obviously I understand, you guys want to, take some time to think about it.
Yep.
And our price, is good for 30 days. And I know you said you're going to do something maybe in the next week or two, even maybe this week.
Right.
But a lot of times in our industry, just human nature, and nothing against you, it's just statistics. We follow that a lot, that about 97% of the people, once we leave the home, don't call back. Right. And even though you might love us today and our company, everybody might be close to the same price, and you already spent, a few hours of your time getting quotes, and obviously your time is very important to you,
Right. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And let them confirm that.
Again, perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. Tie down right there. So we would love to come back. If we have to come back 5 times, 6 times, we'll do whatever it takes there in your business.
Yes.
But through surveys and statistics, each, and this is just particular company that maybe we, deal with, and you can figure out a, analogy for your own company, how much it costs to run a lead.
Yeah.
So our, average, first, appointment run costs company to get that appointment about $500.
Yeah.
And now, say you call us a week later, maybe somebody else was filled in that time slot, and again, we'll come back to do it, but now we might have to move that, or maybe we might not be able to get back here,
Right.
Because you might be in a rush. You at that time you might just say, oh, I'm going to go with somebody else anyway. So is there anything, again, you put it back to them, that we could have done, today differently to run your business?
Sure.
Is it something that that I did? Do you not like, again, and keep going through the process?
Yeah. And get them to re-tie down, if you will, all the things that they confirmed earlier.
Yeah.
Right.
So in this case, I said you love the company. You said you love the product. I know it was, a tiny bit more than you said you had from the other company, but we already agreed, that you said the product was a little bit different. You're getting a little bit more value here.
Right.
So, what we could do respectively, right now is, you could either call me back, which is fine, or if you wanted to take a couple of minutes privately, you and your husband, just maybe talk it over, just because, again, it seemed like you did love everything, and I'll, step outside and give you guys a couple of minutes.
I think that's key. I think everyone should take note of that. Just when you're trying to lead that client and give them that privacy, whether it's stepping out or they might suggest, hey, you know what, I'll step into the living room with my husband or wife or whoever it might be, and have that conversation with them, and just give them that little bit of breathing room. It just kind of, as Fred said, just kind of deflates the situation. It gets you to where they're back in a feeling of comfort to make that decision, regardless of the investment, and then bring it back in. And I've actually been part of that situation where I've gone out to the car. So I can make a phone call. I can just, I'm going to put my samples away, something just to diffuse it, almost a reason to step out and give them that respect level. Yeah,
absolutely. Again, people don't change their minds. They make decisions based on new information. So now you just give them
so powerful. Every time you say that to me, it's great.
It's because you're not going to once your mind, it's not. But and through that good sales process and really being smooth and very involuntary with you, they don't even. Being sold is like being hit with a velvet hammer. You know what I mean? It's they don't second guess it.
Yes.
So in this case, there were some rebates involved with the particular situation, and that were expiring, and I said,
added
unfortunately,
incentive.
probably couldn't, incentive. So take a couple of minutes, probably we'll come back. But it seemed like you loved everything today, and they were like, very, again, receptive. It might not happen all the time, but again, before you leave the house, before you, give up, I don't know, per se, some guys, but you really want to go at it 4 or 5 times, before you do that. So that was one thing, again, through that process where, again, take some time, it's, especially in those cases where, like I said, they really, it was like, we love the company. We have the special card that, that would be for financing for that particular job.
Sure.
They love the process that, that we did for the installation. So that, it was like, confused, and they were just like, well, you want to make sure you can't get the same for less. I understand that. Yeah. And that's where you could also tie in, like, our company has price matching, price match guarantee.
Which is a nice...
So, another scenario, if that scenario or situation comes up where a customer might say, we have to think it over, and then it might come down to, well, you love the company, you love the product, so, knowing your competition obviously is key too.
Yes, for sure.
So you could say, John Barry, so since you're, going to make a decision that soon on the project, it's not really a matter of you really wanting to get something different. It's just you want to make sure you can't get the same thing for less money. And isn't that great? As consumers, isn't that true? Obviously, following through, and that's a great, segue right there. Isn't that true? You want to make sure and they want to say, and you say, well, congratulations, because we guarantee it with our 30-day, price match guarantee. If you can find the same same things that we offer, apples to apples. Again, your company, you have to have certain guidelines for that.
Guidelines is the key. Yeah, you want to make sure the installer that you're comparing to isn't a person running out of their garage or a shed or warehouse, and we're a much larger, well-established brick and mortar, operation that's running. So again, what would that warranty look like? And that's one of the other things too, is when you're running up against an apples for apples comparison, you want to make sure that the warranty is there and build that trust in them. So again, depending on where you work and what that warranty might look like, you want to make sure that if you're offering a lifetime warranty, it's what is it the lifetime of? So it might be, that particular salesperson's longevity. He may retire or she may retire next month and next year and the next 3 years, and what do you have? So really how you're establishing that warranty is truly critical, and just another way to differentiate yourself, because that's what we're all looking to do. Yep.
Yeah, so we have that guideline. Your company, most companies have a similar, guideline. Again, same thing. Product warranty. So a customer recently, was okay. We are at $12,250. Have a price of $10,950. I said, okay, what are they offering you?
Sure.
And then, the size of the particular units were totally different.
Wow.
The
Maybe
brand was totally
brand, I was going
different.
to say brand's
You know,
big,
so the guy happened to be, in car sales, or he worked
Right.
for a car dealership. So
Oh, perfect.
yeah, actually, it was funny.
So he knew the
I
whole-
drive a Ford. He had a Ford, so I said I have a Ford Explorer, XLT. So I said, I'll tell you what, if I could come into the Ford and you could give me the Limited to the same price as the XLT, then
Yeah. We have a deal.
then we have a deal.
Yeah.
He said, well, I can't do that. I said, well, why not?
Why not?
Because you're
Yeah. Sure.
asking me to do the same
Sure.
exact thing.
Yeah.
And again, it's making them understand without, confrontation, but
Right.
just, what we're offering is different,
Right.
a lot, different than what they're offering you. So that's where the price difference is.
Right.
And don't be afraid to give pushback, to customers or
Yeah.
really you got to dig down, because if they do call back and you want to get a sale and you really, want to dive into it, again, we have to make sure everything's on the same playing field.
Sure.
And there's nothing wrong with politely reviewing that in a way where, it's really showing them that,
Right.
you're asking for more
Sure.
for less.
But I like what you're doing there because you're making it very personalized through your needs assessment early on. You've established what the guy does,
Yeah.
and then so that's critical, and that's where some maybe novice salespeople don't get it, and they'll not understand that. So what you've done is you've created a parallel for them in the industry they're in, so it's relatable content for them, so they understand. Okay. Geez, this guy's really got me because he knows his
Yeah,
content.
he would like
So he's like he didn't have any bullets in his gun to come back at you because you knew. You led the witness. You knew where he was going to go, and you
Yeah.
related to something that he could digest and say, you know what, the guy, totally makes sense of what he's saying. Yep.
Yeah, so those, that's another situation scenario. Again, how to before you leave the house,
Right.
before you quit. A lot of different clauses. Obviously, we're gonna dive into continuing. But those would be some other objections. Even before you leave the house, one thing which my dad's done. I've only done it a couple times, but if your company offers maybe an incentive or you say give up, before I leave, you walk out the door with dad, or people, you call it the Godfather clause.
Okay.
And they would,
Yeah.
basically pack up all the stuff, stand away, and you turn around and say, before I leave, you loved everything today. And you go, if I could make you an offer, you couldn't refuse.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. People, laugh again, and
Right.
and then it might
Sure.
be, like, okay, what do you, let's back down.
Right.
Like,
Sure.
and it gives you
Sure.
just, maybe
Yeah.
you broke the ice again. You gave yourself a new opportunity. So,
Right.
really just, we're on stage and we're in the house. We're there to sell the job, but it's, I would say no different than, let's say, acting a little bit, but the lines or your closes you're trying to remember.
Sure.
Really, whatever our viewers and listeners take out of it, it's really practicing your craft every day. The stuff we just do repetitively,
Yes.
whether I'm in the home or not in the home, in the car, constantly repeating it. So the stuff just rolls off the tongue. So I think probably wrap this up for today. Touch on a couple things just to kind of keep the content moving forward. If you guys have questions, or a particular situation I am running, in the house, I keep running into this type of, objection from the customer.
Right.
Please reach out to us.
Sure.
That's what we're here to do, really, to help you.
Sure.
Not only help us grow as individuals in teaching and coaching
Yeah.
for what we're doing here, but just to really help all our viewers and listeners. So please, jump in there. Obviously, on our YouTube channel. We appreciate the new subscribers, and hopefully get some more as we continue to grow. And also, maybe what would you like to see, like content? Our close rates, just to give you an idea, are around the 65 to 75% range. It's very good for our industry, so it's not like we're just winging it.
Yeah.
Which
Sure.
we know what we're doing, but we're always growing too. So
Yes.
we're always constantly learning.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I learn new stuff every day. Kevin learns, stuff.
Yeah. Sure.
We feed off each other. You feed off
Absolutely.
other sales guys, and
Yeah.
I know when I learn something new, I can't wait to go into a house and try that. Any questions? Again, email us. thanks to all our viewers, listeners. Is there anything
Yeah,
you want
I
to
just-
close off today with?
Yeah, I would just love and welcome any feedback. We're always looking to grow and always looking to share. And I'm sure there's a situation that we've encountered between the two of us. Quite a number of sales years between the two of us may not look like it, but we have experienced quite a bit. Myself over 15 years in the industry. Fred, you've got how many under your belt now?
36, so about 20.
From 20 years, so 35 years combined between the two of us. So I'm sure there's a situation that came around between the two of us that we could help get you through. Pose that question, that scenario. We'll be happy to answer.
And comment on
bring
the
it out.
episode too.
Yeah, yep, absolutely, and that would be very helpful. And any feedback that you could provide would be great. And we very much look forward to the next episodes and any feedback they might have for us.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the week.
Thanks,
Enjoy
guys.
the weekend.
Have a
Happy
great
sales.
weekend. Yep.